All right, you good?
Oh, as good as I'll ever be.
All right.
Tonight? Not
I'll
ever.
bring the energy. Let's fucking go. Welcome to the Boardcast. What are we doing? Liking and subscribing. That's what we're doing. We need more people to subscribe to YouTube. Even if you don't watch this and you only listen to it, just go on YouTube and subscribe.
Just click it.
Doesn't take that much. Just hit the button. Give us some love.
Even on Spotify, click the button.
Is there a button on Spotify?
Yeah. You can follow the podcast.
More of you listen to it than watch it. So get on there and get on the opposite platform and hit like and subscribe. I don't care about the like, actually. You can hit dislike as far as I'm concerned. Just hit the subscribe button.
Yeah.
That's the important one. Anyway, let's talk about what's happened this week in skateboarding and snowboarding and business and life.
Let's go.
Everyone's gone broke.
Some big news has come out.
Pretty much July 17, 18 or something today. I don't even know what the date is, but you'll see this in a week or two.
Is it public knowledge yet?
Yeah. Yep. They both put it on their social media.
Yeah?
Yep.
Okay, because I was checking their social media last night and it wasn't there.
It was definitely on Facebook for UPS on Friday that they are closing. And we understand that they're closing completely, not going to remain online or anything. And also another skate shop in Sydney called Basement is also out. And that was announced on social media. I'm sure I saw it somewhere and then had it confirmed. So, yeah, Basement, which is a Redfern based.
Both of them are city-based.
They're both I wouldn't call Basement core skate. I'd call Basement skate. They only sold skateboards. They did sell a lot of like longboards and all sorts of shit. Not that anyone doesn't anymore really, but UPS was core skate.
Yeah.
They only sold cool brands and footwear, and
their shop was sick. What they did was sick.
What they've done in skateboarding, they should be super proud of, I think, because they had a super cool team. They did a lot of cool video stuff. They've just done lots of good things for skateboarding in Sydney. They're the one that I'm kind of shocked by. I'm not shocked. Look, at the end of the day, no one's buying skateboards, so I get why businesses are closing. But, we kind of lost a good shot with UPS going down. And we never, I don't know, I've rarely seen a shop be more involved in the community than those guys. So, it's sad.
It is, good guys.
Basement, I never had much to do with Rob. I don't think he was as involved in, I don't know. I just never had much to do with him. So, still sucks that another skate shop's gone down. But
yeah. And, that's the crazy thing with the skate shops in Sydney. We know each other very well, all the owners.
I didn't know Rob.
Well, I knew, the guys from UPS. I met them a couple of times. Not well, but, hung out a bunch of times and stuff at skate events and things like that. And it's there's never any animosity or, tension
Sydney.
Between the skate shops in Sydney.
No, Sydney's not Melbourne.
Yeah.
Melbourne has a lot of inter-shop rivalry or whatever. Just so dumb.
But their city's set up differently. Melbourne, you can get from one shop to the other on a tram ride. Whereas here, the transport
sucks.
Yeah. And it's hard to get from one to the other, and they're very, spread out.
Yeah. Anyway, that's a sad note to start this episode off. Two, at least one iconic Sydney skate shop and one, look, Basement's been around for a long time. They were called something else before they were called Basement. They used to be at St Leonard's. Then he moved to Redfern.
What was it called up there?
I can't remember. He bought it off someone. And whatever. I don't care. Who cares? But they're gone. So it shows sort of where skateboarding is as an industry right now. It's in a bit of a doldrum, to say the least. It's at the bottom of a cliff.
Which is crazy because we're like, we're talking about maybe Olympics, like kicking skate into like this like cyclical 4-year cyclical thing.
Well, I've always said if we're in a 4-year cycle, we're fucked.
Yeah.
So but maybe we are.
But we're heading into an Olympic right now.
That means we're at the very back end of it. So you can't last that long. I don't think the Olympics will create a cycle, but we had an episode of this a few weeks ago where we discussed the culture.
Yeah.
It says it all. But I think the culture's died, so too are the shops that feed the culture. I mean, God forbid if you people who are listening don't start buying skate from skate shops, you're going to be buying it from Rebel Sport.
Yeah.
Like that's my warning to everybody listening or watching. If you don't think that's real, have a look what's going on.
Yeah, it's just going to end up being mall stores.
Yeah. I mean, look,
that you've got to
at the
shop
end of
at.
the day, that could be where it's headed. And, if it is, then so be it. We won't be around.
We won't be involved in a mall store. Been there, done that. It doesn't work. It doesn't.
It's not right. It's not where skate shops belong. But again, the culture's shifting, and if the culture is shifting dramatically to little kids and old guys, then the industry's kind of fucked. Do you reckon
it's also to do with the climate in the world at the moment? Like the economy?
No.
And interest rates and
no.
You reckon it's purely based on?
Yeah, I don't think any of those factors have anything to do with where skateboarding is.
Yeah, but in terms of like a skate shop, like there has always been like this sentence thrown around within the industry that core is poor. And
it's hard to make money as a core skate shop.
So you're relying on footwear and apparel and all the other parts that go with it. And when the economy is in a downturn like it is right now, and people close up spending.
I'm not here to say UPS's business model was perfect. Obviously it wasn't.
No, I'm not talking about them in general. I'm talking about the state of like just skateboarding industry right now. Like you can't put it all down to just the culture.
Yeah, you can.
You reckon?
Yep. Yeah, the culture drives the sport, and without the culture, there is no sport. It's just a boring tennis-like thing that doesn't have
that appeal.
Yeah. So I believe that the culture died, or is at least in desperate need of resuscitation. But I don't think the sport will flourish without the culture, and definitely skate shops play no part. It started to happen a while back, right? I remember quite clearly when if you were a skate shop and you didn't have a team, you were not a skate shop. Like that was a reality, right? You were a joke. You were a laughingstock if you didn't have a team. And then all of a sudden social media comes along and kids can directly contact companies. So what role did the skate shop team thing play anymore? Like all of a sudden, if they can get in touch with the footwear company they want to be on and send the videos straight to them, or
vice versa, now the companies
see them and
are following them and are watching all these kids on Instagram and can literally DM a kid.
So the wholesalers, distributors, manufacturers have kind of taken us out of that role too.
Yeah,
and I don't think they're seeing it. I don't think they understand what they're doing, but maybe it's part of their big game plan too. They can sell direct, right?
But do you know what's the crazy thing about that though is like they're missing that key part of like I've watched what you've done for like since I started working when I was, 18 and all the boys coming up through the shop then and right up until now. Like not only do you get the kids that are coming up sponsors, you also give them mentorship. You tell them what brands to go after, what brands to say yes to, what brands to say no, how, like where they want to get to in skateboarding. Is it competition? Is it streets? Is it this? Is it that? Like, and you direct them on what to do and how to navigate to get the career that they want out of skateboarding.
That was the role of the shop. Go back to like day one, like go back to the Z-Boys days, right? Skip Engblom, the fucking guy who ran that shop. He was a surfer dude. He never even really, like he wasn't a skater per se, but he was the mentor for those kids, the Tony Alvas and the bloody, God, my brain just went so blank then.
What was his name?
Peralta, Stacy Peralta and all those fucking, that whole crew. He was their mentor. And that was the role of the shop. That was what the shop did. It gave them direction, but it's done. Like, they're all too fucking smart. They all know better than me now. Like, the kid, when was the last time you sold a kid a skateboard? Like, sold them one where they came in blank page and went, what should I buy? They all come in with preconceived ideas.
Yeah.
They basically go, I need that wheel, that truck, that bearing, that deck, and you just put it together. Yeah. So the role of the skate shop's been removed via the internet. It's part and parcel of what we've got going on as a society. And snowboarding's no different. Like, we're seeing it this year in snowboarding more and more. Like, people just come in. If they want a Salomon huck knife, they come in for a Salomon huck knife, and nothing I say is going to change that. Not that I would talk you out of that, but there's nothing, like, if the companies aren't doing the marketing well enough or educating well enough, then the customer's not there. And that's the other issue. Like, long term, what's the role of a core skate or snow shop? These are the questions we need to ask ourselves. As a business. Like, what role do we play? How do we stay relevant? And it's getting more and more difficult to answer that question.
Which is, like, interesting because people come in, like, especially within snow and skate too, they come in with a preconceived idea, and you're then having to talk them out of their preconceived idea into something that is better suited to them in some cases. Like, they come in and go, oh, I've been looking at this board, and you're like, oh, it's not really right for you. For what you're saying you want to do or what you're saying you're going to try and achieve. Like, it's not going to get you there or whatever. So selling right now on the shop floor is like you're actually having to
shift people's opinion.
Yeah, and educate and like.
Fuck, it's not what we're there to give you advice and help you get the right stuff from scratch though. Like, if you come in with a preconceived idea, I'm not there to bash that down. I'm not going to spend an hour telling someone not to buy a certain truck or a certain bearing. Buy what you want. I don't give a shit. That's the problem, right? And then people are just going out with the wrong stuff, and it's harder and harder to care because you don't want to get in an argument with someone. I used to all the time. I used to battle that all the time. I'd be like, why are you buying that? That's stupid. But I just don't anymore. I'm like, the kid is such a blank.
You do sometimes still.
I do if the person who I'm talking to, if I feel like they're worthy of being taught. If they walk in with a smart-assy little swami attitude, I'm not going to fucking bother. If they're a kid who just genuinely doesn't know.
You can pick up a person's vibe pretty easily, whether they're like open to your advice and knowledge, and then there's some people that aren't. They're like.
Less and less.
Nope. I want this, I want this, I want this. And you're like, cool.
Yeah. I like the fact that we're at a point with skateboarding where potentially you can lose a sale because you don't have a particular board in stock, and we still stock 300 odd skateboards, decks, and someone goes, oh, nah, man, I really want that whatever board.
Blows my mind that people walk into our shop and can't find a deck, and they go,
it doesn't happen often,
very rarely, but when it does I go, really? Out of 300 boards on the wall you can't find one?
Because it's generally because of a brand. They're fucking being
or like a
brainwashed into a
particular graphic and a particular size,
which is
nuts. And I get it, but like
I don't get it. I never got that, but at the end of the day, good luck. I don't care. It's hard. I don't know. I shouldn't be negative about it, but skateboarding's been such a doldrum for such a long time. Like, it's so hard to stay positive about it.
Yeah, I guess, well, it's kind of like we're raw at the moment. We're hearing about stuff that's happening in our industry.
Well, it hits home pretty hard when shops start shutting.
Yeah, and, you know, you and I, our personalities are not one to just sit still and not do anything. So, you know.
But like, what do you do? I mean.
Well, this is the thing. Like, we're diversifying our business.
Yeah,
and we are. We do skate, we do snow, we're doing vintage because we're trying to have a point of difference. Like, we don't want to be a mall store. That is 100% clear. Like, we don't want to end up looking like a mall store.
Yeah, print shop.
Yep.
Servicing still doing really well. Tuning like snow and skis and stuff, that's still doing really well.
Yeah.
It's just
creating our own fashion.
Like, why do we want to, like, there's a really interesting thing going on with one of the snowboard brands today. Like, we've given this brand, it's a fucking cool as shit brand from the States. Fucking the guys running it are rad in the States. The guys running it here are cool guys.
Yeah.
But there's another retailer selling it for fucking less than cost. I literally just looked it up before I came up. They're retailing it for our wholesale, not including tax. So they're losing 10% plus shipping.
Which is
so they're either going broke as well. That company's either going broke as well, or they've gone.
That shop.
Yeah, that shop's going broke probably as well. Or they've decided that brand's not working at all. We've got to dump it. And we don't care if we're going to lose money on it. We'll use it as a way to sell the binding to get some of that money back, or try and get people in our shop because we've got $900 boards for $500. But trust me, if you're out there buying a $950 snowboard for $500, that shop's losing money, and you're then, as a consumer, contributing to the death of another store. I would love for that store to go under because they created this sale mindset with snowboarding that's ruining snowboarding in this country. Like, we have the cheapest snowboards in the world in Australia. Dollar for dollar and exchange rate wise and whatever, we're by far the cheapest. And there's some fucking cool, we get this shit first, we get it before the rest of the world. There's just no need to sell it for nothing. It's stupid. It's not like, man, the tuning I'm doing, it's not like I'm tuning all brand new boards. I booked in a board from the 90s today.
And that has not been its only one. There has been a lot coming in from the 90s.
Probably 4 or 5 this week, and it's only Tuesday.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Yeah. But that has got to, like, snowboarding has got to do with the economy.
Yeah,
the
100%.
Price. Like, there's the culture with snowboarding has always just done its thing. It's never been like skateboarding in terms of the culture.
There's no real culture in snowboarding. There is with the top 2%.
There is with the core for sure, and that remains because there's always going to be people doing back-to-back seasons. And
but that's such a tiny percentage of the market.
Yeah, they don't.
Well, the culture's very minimal in snowboarding. It's mainly just, well, based on what Vail Group have done to Australian snow, it's now rich people only. Yeah. $250 a day for a lift ticket. What the fuck are they doing? Why? Why do that? Like, what is the mindset there? I saw that thing on Instagram the other day from 1996 or whatever. A lift ticket was $50. And with normal inflation calculated in, today's lift ticket should be $108.
Yeah, something like that.
Factored into normal inflation. $250. Yeah, that seems reasonable. So they've just made it a high-end wealthy sport again. And that sucks. That's not what it should be. Accessible to anyone who wants to try it or do it. But soon quickly becoming not the case. You would be better off, and this is so fucking negative. But
I'm like, where's the positivity in this episode?
Well, I'll get to it. You would be better off saving your money from your lift pass or a season ticket and putting that into an airfare and getting on a plane and going anywhere.
To Japan?
Particularly Japan, because it's quite cheap. The Australian dollar right now gets you 107 yen. That is fucking staggeringly good. Japan is basically free right now. It's like Bali.
It's a bit of girl maths for you.
Oh, dude, it's so cheap
Girls,
over there.
your Japan trip is free.
Yeah. It's so
according
cheap
to
over
our
there. Man, I guarantee you're not paying $100 for a lift ticket anywhere in that country.
There's one resort.
It's not over 100.
Rizutsu?
Yeah,
I've Googled it.
And how much was it?
$100.
100,000 yen. 10,000 yen.
Yeah, it was just so right I remember I did the calculations, but then if you buy 5 consecutive days, it drops to like $90 a day.
But 10,000 yen is not $100 right now.
I did the yen in Google yen to AUD.
Either way, there's one resort that has $100 lift ticket, and that's $150 less than here.
Yeah.
Most resorts over there are $40 to $50 a day.
Yeah.
And the small ones, $30.
And some mountains, if you go on Wednesdays, it's Ladies' Day and you get to ride for free.
Yeah, they have there's mountains that are $20.
Yeah.
Like $25 lift tickets. And they're as big as Threadbow.
Perfect for families.
Yeah. As big as Threadbow. Legitimately as big as Threadbow. No one will be there. And during the week, you'll have 3 people in the kitchen for every 1 member of your family. It's fucking nuts. They just don't get busy because there's so many of them.
Yeah. By the time you pay for accommodation and transport and lift tickets and everything like that, it's the same price as going to Japan.
Yeah, but you could probably stretch it for another week over there and get like a week here would probably be more like 2 weeks there. Because once you're there, your airfare's covered. Mm-hmm. So you may as well stay for a longer time. And your kids will learn more. They'll get to see the world a bit. It's so much cooler for the kids. It's so much better run. It's not owned by Vale Group.
Yeah. Here's the thing though, like
or the Icon Group or whatever the fuck that is.
Next Australian season, once I'm obviously back on the snow, I still think I'll buy a Perisher pass. Because I know Australia is shit. I don't expect it to be like Japan. I never have.
It's not shit. It's just not.
I don't have high expectations for it.
Affordable.
It is just fun to go down with your family or your mates and.
Yeah, I think everyone should do it. I did it for 45 years. I just don't care anymore. I don't ride in Australia for one reason and one reason alone.
Is we're on the shop floor the entire season.
I work my ass off, and no, it's affordability. I don't like being ripped off. I never have. And Australia, if Vale Group fuck off and it gets back to how it was, I would happily go back down there. But the way it is now with Vale Group buying everything and fucking ruining Perisher particularly, fuck them. Not having my money. I'll be here to service your shit.
You've just got a personal vendetta against Vale Group.
I just think the way they do things is questionable. They can sue me if they want. I've got nothing to sue me. There's nothing to take.
This has been a very raw podcast episode from you and I.
Yeah, let's talk about something positive. You climbed this week.
I did.
You made your comeback.
Yeah, I'm still taking it very easy and very slow. It's very sketchy jumping down off the wall from above a metre.
We'll insert some footage here of Claire's first climbs. It's like watching someone climb a ladder. But it's early days, 7, 8 months.
Yeah, I've got to get my grip strength and my toe strength back. Yeah. It's a weird thing to say, your toe strength, but fuck my toes in climbing shoes.
Just so people who are listening or watching understand why we always end up on climbing. It's because if we're not snowboarding, there's not a lot of things that are very exciting to do to stay super fit for snowboarding. But climbing, particularly bouldering, uses basically every single muscle group in your body, particularly core strength. It's impossible to climb without core strength. It uses leg muscles that you won't know you had until you start doing it. It uses upper body that you won't know you had until you're doing it. Your feet stay strong. Your balance is incredibly trained through climbing. Like without balance, you can't climb. Without strength, you can't climb. Without your core, you can't climb. These are all things that you need to go snowboarding. Yeah.
It's also a really good, like you've got to problem solve on the wall. You've got to figure out a puzzle essentially, a physical puzzle. So it's really good to switch your mind off for a minute.
Yeah, it switches you off completely. So.
Yeah, because all you can think about is that climb. So it's really good.
For me, the crossover for snowboarding is tree riding. Like when I'm in the trees, I need to focus on what the fuck I'm doing. I can't not concentrate, particularly Japanese trees.
Yeah, it's like using your brain and problem solving under high stress and adrenaline.
Yeah, and it's also just got a cool vibe to it. Like
we're trying to bring more cool vibe to it.
Yeah, that's true. But we're like culturally, it's a cool sport.
Yeah.
It's a misfitty sport that's got a bunch of people that are just, you know, because you can't climb the whole time. You're sitting on your ass a fair bit in between shots at each climb because it's impossible to climb for a long time in a bouldering environment. So you sit down and you chat and it's socially kind of fun. And
it's like that in skateboarding.
Like skateboarding was.
Yeah, when you go to the skate park, you'd do a run and then you'd sit down and then you'd do a bit and sit down. But for those of you who are new here, Al and I also have a climbing business with 2 other people. There's 4 of us that all own it. It's called Climb High Club. If you want to follow us on Instagram, you can follow the brand.
Climbhigh.club.
Something like that. If you type in Climb High, you'll find it.
Yeah.
And that's, again, just trying to
do different shit.
Yeah, and bring a cool, unique spin to climbing.
I found when I walked into the climbing gym for the very first time, I was shocked by how bad the fashion was.
Yeah, it's very like Patagonia.
It's all Patagonia and fucking Columbia and North Face and just homelessness look.
And weird mixed colours and...
Yeah, it still gets me how many kids climb in shorts. I'm just like, fucking put some pants on, grow up. I don't know, just... It's weird. Shorts always blow my mind a bit because you slide down the wall a bit and you tear your shins to pieces. And I learnt that very quickly, that pants sort of save you a lot of skin.
It's
very similar to skateboarding.
Yeah, girls climb in shorts.
You haven't slid down the wall yet. You'll learn.
I have.
Yeah,
I used to have bruises and grazes.
Oh, yeah. You'll find out one day. Just rip a shin to pieces.
Can't wait. Looking forward to it.
Yeah. Anyway, we're going to be back with a more positive episode in a couple of, like next week, I think. I don't know why it's going to be more positive. Jez is coming on, isn't he?
Yeah, we've got to guess, but I don't know what order we're doing everything in, so let's just...
Well, Jez might have already been on.
Could be.
Doubt it.
But yeah, this is like a very honest and raw podcast from us.
Well, yeah, it's been a very strange week in Borders world. Watching shops shut, watching snow shops go on desperate sales, and like there's an economic problem going on. So it'll be interesting to see.
We're not the only businesses feeling it. Like I'd speak to people who are outside of the industry, who are like builders and, you know, hospitality, and, you know, there are businesses all over Australia struggling.
Yeah, well, I don't think we're like necessarily struggling. I think we've just got to
there's other people in the...
Yeah, they're collapsing.
Yeah.
They're not struggling. They're gone.
Yeah.
Like wild to me that these companies are just disappearing. I thought this would have happened a while ago.
I was honestly shocked by UPS.
Yeah. I'm not. I can't say I was shocked. I've been calling it for a year that some of the smaller skate shops that don't have other revenue streams were going to go under. You got to have multiple revenue streams. Like the only thing that saves us at times is the fact that one of the 4 or 5 things we're doing is going okay. You know, we've got Nike, we've got Asics, we've got Adidas, so we've got big footwear brands, right? So when they're working, we're good. When the print shop starts cranking, we're good. When tuning comes like it is at the moment, where we're doing fucking 20 boards a day, we're good because that's money. So we have other revenue streams other than skate, because skate hasn't been good for so long. So I'm not shocked that the skate shops have gone, but the snow shops that are doing these crazy sales, that worries me more. I don't get why they're doing it. It's just like, calm the fuck down, people.
Yeah.
But what do? It's dumping snow and someone puts a board at 45% off. What the fuck? Dipshit. You know who you are too, dipshit. What's his number? What number is he? 1 something?
Let's not go there.
I won't do it. Fuck you.
Tell us how you really feel, Al.
He knows. Dickhead. He doesn't go to trade shows or anything.
Yeah.
It's pussy too. You're a pussy too. Come and chat if you want. That can't be the short, by the way. We can't turn that into the reel for this week.
All right.
Portnoy, don't do it.
Can we talk about one thing that you are interested in at the moment?
What?
Whiskey.
Yeah.
Al has got a new
obsession
with whiskey. It started in Japan with us.
Oh, it started before that, but yeah.
With Yamazaki and Hibiki, and then we started trying all different types of whiskey from all different regions all over Japan, and now you've branched out of Japan. You're in New Zealand whiskies.
It's super weird because my dad was a whiskey drinker and I never touched it while he was alive. And I feel sad. I always thought he was nuts. I was always like, what the fuck is that shit? It tastes like rocket fuel. But he used to drink it straight. Like he'd just put a nip in a glass and he'd sip on it.
There's some that's how you're meant to drink it.
Yeah, you're out of your fucking mind. It's too strong. With ice though, I've been reading this book someone gave me.
I wonder who.
I don't know. And I think the answer might be like a dash of water.
Yeah.
And then it makes it very palatable straight away. But it turns out that my favourite so far out of that 30 that I've tried is the same one my dad used to drink.
Really?
But he would drink the standard one, but I bought a bottle of...
What was it? What did he drink?
Just Glenfiddich. But he would always buy the stock standard stuff.
That one's like $100 a bottle?
It's about 90 or 100,
yeah.
But I bought an 18-year, I think, or a 12-year. I can't remember. I'd have to have a look on the bottle when I get home. Might be an 18-year. It was expensive, and I just thought, fuck it. If I'm going to drink it, I may as well get the good one. And it is so good. So it turns out that Scotch whiskey is actually the one I really like.
Really?
So far,
what's Japanese whiskey then? Not Scotch?
It's whiskey from Japan.
Okay. What's the difference between whiskey and Scotch?
Scotland.
Oh, okay. Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you know how people go have a glass of Scotch?
Yeah, it's from Scotland. Whiskey.
Okay.
Scotch whiskey.
I don't know anything about
I didn't either a few months ago. But I don't know what, like it's Scotch whiskey, Scotland.
I like peaty whiskies.
Well, the Scotch ones are pretty peaty at times.
Yeah.
It turns out that there's a lot to whiskies, and it's kind of like becoming a coffee drinker or a wine drinker.
Do you know what we should do?
No. What?
We should get Scotty on a podcast and we can do a whiskey tasting with Scotty.
Whiskies.
Scotty, we need you. We need you back.
I wonder if he listens to this rubbish. Yeah, it'd be cool to do that.
I would love to have Scotty come talk about whiskies and let's drink some whiskies.
I don't know if Scotty knows. He knows enough.
He knows it. Yeah, Scotty is the type of guy that when he's into something, he's into it and he knows all about it. Yeah. He taught you so much about coffee.
Yeah, I know more about coffee than I ever needed to know, and I still drink the same fucking coffee every day. So I learnt all that shit, but I don't use it.
But
Scotch
now you're
is different.
You're into whiskies.
Sorry. I did buy a really nice New Zealand bottle. I don't think I'll drink that though. Turns out, people, the other thing about whiskey is if you buy it and just fucking hang on to it, it doubles in value. It goes up and up because the more people who drink the limited edition one, you're right. Sorry for keeping me up. The more people who drink the limited edition bottles, the more valuable they become. Yeah. So all the fucking tosser billionaires out there drinking the expensive shit actually increases the value of the one that you bought. If you have like the limited barrel stuff, like the ones that are 5,000, they only do 5,000 bottles. But if 4,999 of those bottles get drunk, the last bottle is going to be worth some money. So, yeah, interesting. There's bottles in Dan Murphy's for thousands of dollars.
Really?
Like $7,000, I think the most expensive one was.
$7,000.
Yeah, I'm like, imagine if you bought that and dropped it.
Yeah, just on the way out.
Fuck it, wouldn't you? It'd be like buying a brand new car and just crashing it on the way out. But at least the car's insured. Bet you can't insure a bottle of whiskey.
Yeah. Fuck, I think we need to get Scotty on.
Yeah, we can try.
I'm talking to Scotty.
See if he's around. All right, like and subscribe. Catch you next week.
Hopefully we'll have a little bit more of a positive
Hopefully no more shops go broke between now and then.
Hopefully we have more positive news. Otherwise, we'll just get drunk and drink whiskey.
Someone asked me about this Roscock poster too. You can't have it, and we've got to look after it.
Maybe we should get it framed. We need to bring Chopper up.
That's expensive to get that framed.
Yeah, no. We need to get Chopper up.
Pull Chopper off Jez, he will not be thrilled. Has that got tape holding it up?
I don't know.
Fuck.
All right,
it's worth a lot of money.
You don't need to hear us ramble.
See ya.
Bye.
Peace.
Boardcast.